Have a chance right now to talk to a Pittsburgh legend, Mr. Lou Christie. Lou, welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And before we do anything, I need to wish you a belated happy birthday. I know you had a birthday last week, so belated.
I did. I did.
What's
a nice one. I had so much response. It was just unbelievable. You know, this thing called Facebook it's creating a whole new world. It's like, everyone gets on it every day, and it's like a hit record,
Well, what's it like for you to come back and perform in the Pittsburgh area since you grew up in Pittsburgh? Is it a special treat or just another job?
Oh, no. It's really a special treat because I love Pittsburgh. I was, born and raised, not right downtown, but I graduated at Moon High School, so I lived out in the country out there. I have three sisters that are still there, a brother and cousins and, some aunts and things like that, and uncles, and so many friends. I was just talking about it the other night. I still have the same friends that I had when I was in first grade, all through grade school and high school, and we still talk. We still continue to be friends, and it's just wonderful. Their families have grown up. Everyone's families have grown up, and it's so wonderful. Every time I go back to Pittsburgh, I try to go back at least once or twice a year, and it's some places they used to say someplace special. It is. And I think everyone, when I meet them around the world, if they're from Pittsburgh, everyone feels the same way about Pittsburgh. I really believe that there was something, I think the quaintness and the ethnicity of all the people were just fantastic because, and everyone came from hardworking families, Of course, they built America with the steel mills, so, we have a lot to be proud of in that city.
Now, are you surprised that you have been able to maintain a singing career for as long as you have? I know you've been in the business well over 55 years. Does your longevity surprise you?
I never looked at, I don't look quite at it that way. This is what I wanted to do my whole life, and I did it, and I just kept going, that's all. And they say if you find something you want to do it, because you'll never have to work another day in your life. So I really got to do what I wanted to do. I loved all the music that I heard growing up. It was just something that came so natural in our family. We were just very musically inclined. My mother sang, my dad sang, my sisters sang. We all can sing in the family, and I really didn't think it was that. It was like play to me, singing. That was the best feeling I got out of my childhood. Is that that was the harmony that I wanted to hear in my life, and I just it is amazing that when you look back and you say, "Geez, I'm still doing this," and thank God I'm enjoying it. I'm probably enjoying it more today than I have in other years and other decades. You get maybe a little wiser as you grow up, and a lot of things don't bother you as much, and you are, I think, where you're supposed to be at this point in your life. So I'm thoroughly enjoying my career right now.
Okay, multiple choice question for you. Who would you say had the most important effect on your career? A, Marcy Joe, 2, Twyla Herbert, or Nick Senzi?
Oh, God. Well, there's no question. It was me and Twyla. The combination of Twyla and I was, we wrote The Gypsy Cried in 15 minutes, the first song we ever wrote together. We wrote Two Faces of Vi. We wrote Lightning Strikes. We wrote Rhapsody. We just had an unbelievable writing career as people in this industry. And it was, if it weren't for Twyla, who the heck knows, I may have taken that, with that fork in the road, another fork going the other way or something like that. Marcy was so wonderful because I got to sing on the first records with her. I sang background on Ronnie Came Back and Since Gary Went in the Navy and What I Did This Summer and a little handful of other things. And she was working with someone who was very special, Lenny Martin and Lou Guarino. They were at the Carlton House, if you remember the Carlton House.
Yes, I do.
And that's where I remember hearing the Skyliners album after they finished the album. And I hadn't met any of the Skyliners at that point. I didn't even have a hit record at that point. It was 59, I think, maybe 59, maybe 60. And I remember hearing the Skyliners, of course, I I heard Since I Don't Have You, and then I heard the rest of the album in Lenny Martin's office, and I said, oh, these are wonderful stepping stones in my life. Marcy was one, Lenny Martin, and the Skyliners were very inspirational for me. But Twyla was the person that I hooked up with, and she saw my vision and said, let's give it a go. And we just had a ball laughing, and it was a bit crazy at times, but she was very, very the most influential person in my life.
Okay, how about Nick Sensi? What kind of influence did he have?
Well, Nick, it was so nice to have him. He liked falsetto music. Of course, I was recording, there's a couple people that sort of take the credit of, Nick told me to go home and write, and, Nick told me to go home and write nothing because I came in with it. I came in with the record, the songs already. And I had been recording, a couple years before I met Nick Sensi, and I was so happy that he liked falsetto voices. And I just happened to, have one. And he let me go in the studio and cut the record, The Gypsy Cried, and it's all history after that. And then it was taken over. We put it out on a little label, a CNC record. I think at the time it was either Cohen-C or CNC because it was Sensi and Cohen, Herbie Cohen, who owned the distributing company in Pittsburgh. And Nick just liked my voice and had a very commercial ear. We cut the record, and then it was passed on to Roulette Records, and that was the beginning. And it started breaking all over the country, and then from there it sold 1 million, and then Two Faces of I came out. That was the first 2 records I cut in Pittsburgh. And then the first album, most of it was cut in Pittsburgh, and then I started branching out, and I turned, I think, 21, then left that company, and then just pursued so many other things and other labels, and then Lightning Strikes happened, and I just kept moving on, moved to Hollywood, moved to New York, and moved to London. My life took a lot of different turns. But in the beginning, thank God that Nick let me go into the studio and cut The Gypsy Cried, because that was the beginning of it, really. As Lou Christie, I cut a couple of records prior to The Gypsy Cried.
Luigi and the Lions.
And then I did The Jury by Luigi and the Lions, and my friends called me Luigi when I was in that period of my life.
Okay, so, before we get into the new stuff, one question. When you did Rhapsody in the Rain, did you do it on Ed Sullivan, and did he make you do the censored version?
I did not do it on Ed Sullivan. There was a big problem when on the Ed Sullivan. I was booked to do it that weekend, and my manager and agent got into a fight with Ed Sullivan because they wanted me to come down to sing it live, so they thought it was electronically done, my voice. And my manager, of course, they have big egos more than the artist does. And he said, hey, well, we're not sending him down anywhere to go down and show him how he sings it. He said it's his voice that's doing this. It's not electronically done. They had a fight, and I was canceled off the show on Sunday night.
That's a shame. Did you ever do Ed?
But I played so many wonderful TV shows, from the Mike Douglas shows to the Joey Bishop shows, Hollywood A Go-Go, Hollywood Discotheque, Shebang, Chivalry, American Bandstand. I remember one time I was on 9 times on television on the weekend, because a lot of them had, films of me from previous weeks or previous records, and they would play them. And while I lived in Hollywood, I remember counting, I was on that weekend, the Saturday and Sunday, 9 times on different shows too. So it was a really quite exciting time in my life.
Not too bad. Okay, tell us about Drive-In Dreams.
Well, everyone says you can't go home again. Well, I did go home again, and I hooked up again with a friend of mine from years ago who had a group called Sweet Breeze, and so Greg Sharp was someone who I kept in contact with, and he said, I came in to do, as a matter of fact, I came in to do the holiday show, I think, or the parade, the Christmas parade, the light parade, or whatever it was. I think it was called something like that. Pittsburgh has around Christmas time, and then we got together and started talking, and there I was back in Pittsburgh recording again with him, and we wrote a couple things, and I recorded a couple things, and the Drive-In Dreams was one of them. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a new radio show that comes out on Sirius XM on 60s on 6, and the show is called Lou Christie's Drive-In Dreams. So I'm using that and as a title for my new radio show. show. So,
Well, any particular reason why you singled out the Fox Chapel girls instead of the Moon Township
because
girls?
that's where Greg went to school. And
Okay.
there were some beautiful girls that were from Fox Chapel. They were. That was a very special sort of part of Pittsburgh, as you know. So most of the guys from Sweet Breeze, that was the group that Greg was involved with. That's how he started the group Sweet Breeze, and they were all from around Fox Chapel. And it just sang right. And to me, I said, no, we got to keep Fox Chapel in there. Fox Chapel girls come around on Saturday night. It just felt right.
Okay, your latest recording was a charity song called The Soldier. How did that happen to come about?
Well, pretty much the same way. We had some ideas about recording again, and Christmas was coming up, and we thought, what a great way to involve everyone from Pittsburgh, as many people as we could put on the record. And of course, we got Donnie Iris. I called Donnie Iris, and I said, do you want to do a song, for the Wounded Warriors, along with me? And we got Donnie Iris and Jimmy Ross from the Jaggers, and Johnny Angel and the Skyliners, Jimmy Beaumont, Joe Gersharon, and Pete Hewlett, and Clint Hurdle from all these guys from the Pirates who does the intro, and recorded the song for Hope for the Warriors, and cut it in Pittsburgh, and it came out, and it was in all the Giant Eagle stores, and on iTunes, and all the places, and those wonderful clouds that we all hear about on our iPhones.
Yeah, I know. It's awfully hard.
There's no Sugar Record Marathon on Fifth Avenue anymore in New York or anything else there, or a National Record Mart. They don't exist anymore.
Right.
It's pretty sad for our generation in that respect.
But it's awfully hard to find it right now. If you even go to YouTube or to iTunes, it's hard to find a copy of The Soldier.
I think some of them are still in the Giant Eagle, because I know we send out a load of them every week. So, or send a check that goes right to them.
Okay, I understand that you have gotten some awards from some of the different veterans groups because of your work with the veterans groups. Can you tell us about that?
Well, I do, and they're upstairs, and they're in. I have them around here. Yes, because I do I do a lot of charity work, and I've flown out to the coast a couple times to do some real nice benefits for the people who have been put into that war and have given their lives, for us to remain safe in this country. And every time I hear they're cutting benefits for this, and you hear some horrible stories, and you just cannot pass it up. Anyone who puts on one of those uniforms to go fight for us, you have to give respect, credit, and thanks to them, and that's the best way I know how.
Well, I don't know whether anybody has said thank you for doing that, but if they haven't, I'm giving you a thank you for doing that.
Many people have thanked me, and it makes you feel good, because it's not always about taking; it's really about giving. Giving back, and I've had a long career, and I'm still in good health, and everything is going pretty good. We all have our ups and downs, but you just get back up, keep going, and keep moving.
Okay.
And I've been gifted with a voice that is still with me, and I'm I love singing, and if I can use that to help the country somehow, or help some of the soldiers out there, I'm ready to do it.
All right, you are going to be in Greensburg March 12th, along with Lad Vance and Barbara Harris's Toys.
The toys!
Now,
the toys, I love the toys. They're wonderful.
Is Margaret Ross still singing with the Toys, do you know?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Because every time I would see Barbara, Margaret would be with her, or if I'd...
Well, then she's probably still there. I know Barbara's still lead and everything like that. It's her girls,
Well, you've been in the business many, many years. Anything else you still want to accomplish, Lou?
I make projects. I have projects, I'm working on right now for other things, and I just continue to do, express myself as much as I can, I guess, musically, and in other things, even, I do a little designing and things like that. Anything could be from furniture. I'm always working on. I don't know. My thing that's always hanging over my head is, are you going to write the book? If I get that question one more time, I don't know, and I don't know what to say. I've been writing a bit, and I'm sort of trying to feel out exactly what you say, and I don't want it to be just a sensationalism kind of book, because I think we have enough of that. I hope there is some kind of wisdom that I could put in the book and let people know, and who knows, they could be inspired by it. But there's just so many wonderful things that are going on in my life, and I just get up and move forward, do a show, think about something else, do the radio show. If I'm writing, I'm going to record a couple other new things coming up. So, just always working on projects, which I enjoy,
Well, you're one of the few 50s and 60s artists who has come out with some new material and who is actually getting some airplay on it. So that's great sign. Great sign.
Oh, thank you. It's nice. It's nice. It's a different business out there now, but I'm getting such, good response. And my last CD was really nice. It was called The Turquoise Trail. It was one of my favorite records that I've ever put out, and that's a regular CD, and I think you can get it on LouChristie.com because the website has... Matter of fact, if you go on LouChristie.com, you could also get The Soldier, the album with Donnie Iris on... Not album, but the 40... It's like a 45. It's a single thing that I was talking about, the Giant Eagle, with Donnie Iris and the Skyliners and the Jaggers, and... So you could probably get it on LouChristie.com and The Turquoise Trail, my newest record.
Are you going to have CDs in Greensburg? Or?
Yes, I am going to have them.
Okay, one other question. How are you on awards? You haven't hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yet, which is a shame, but what's your feeling about some of these different awards? Are they overhyped?
Well, it's so very strange now. I don't think I'll ever get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm into a lot of, Pittsburgh's put me in the Hall of Fame there, which is nice, and I'm in the Hit Parade Hall of Fame. I'm in the some of those whether it Hit Parade, the Top 10, the Pop Hall of Fame, I'm in most of them. But the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't know. If Paul Anka is not in there and Neil Sedaka is not in there, I am surely not going to go into it. I cannot see myself going in there. If they're not in it, come on. No one has more hit records than Neil Sedaka or wrote more songs, and he and Paul Anka are not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a bit strange.
Johnny Maestro either.
Well, you go down the list and you think I don't know. We have no one knows what the criteria is for being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's just I don't know. It's just a couple people got together and they do it. What can I tell you?
Well, looking forward to seeing you on March 12th. Before I let you go, since you are a disc jockey right now with your new radio show, if you would be so kind as to introduce The Soldier for our listening audience, we are going to get ready and play it on the show right now.
Oh, great. I would love to introduce this song. I think it's a wonderful idea, and it's for a wonderful, wonderful cause. So you're going to hear myself, Donnie Iris, and Jimmy Ross from the Jaggers, and Johnny Angel, Jimmy Beaumont from the Skyliners, Joe Vishecki, and Pete Hewlett, and it's called The Soldier, and it is recorded in my hometown of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Enjoy it.
Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hide me from the light so I can love you once again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hold me in your arms so I won't lose my way again. I see the way they look at me when you're not around. The loneliness I feel inside, I couldn't make a sound. I can hear your voice call from 10,000 miles away. You're saying to run and hide, live to fight another day. My memories from the life I knew spin faster, fade to gray. I can only pray we meet again. Find faith will keep me safe. Oh, yeah. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hide me from the light so I can love you once again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hold me in your arms so I won't lose my way again. drops from those eyes. Our love falls gently to my cheek. The love you give and freely, girl, turns back eternity. Oh, stay with me tonight to save my life. Won't you stay with me? Hide me from the light so I can love you once again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then save my hold me in your arms so I won't lose my way. I don't want to lose my way. Stars at night, so beautiful, betray my point of view. Stars so bright, much closer now. What am I to do? Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hide me from the light so I can love you once again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hold me in your arms so I won't lose my way again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hide me from the light so I can love you once again. Stay with me tonight to save my life, and then hold me in your arms so I won't lose my way again. Stay with me tonight.
Okay, and if you would do one more, if you would introduce Drive-In Dreams, I will go ahead and give you an intro on that, and if you would do that, we can play that also.
Okay.
Okay, and Lou, that sounds awfully good. If you would also introduce your other new recording of Drive-In Dreams, we want to play it for our listening audience.
All right. Well, I would be happy. I love the new record, and if you have a chance, ask some disc jockey to play it in Pittsburgh. It's called Drive-In Dreams.
Twilight rendezvous. behind in those driving dreams.